Paul Henry.
10 o'clock this morning, Air New Zealand are taking off to head to Bali and they'll be on the ground about an hour, all things going well, and they will pull a plane load of people out. Julian Andrews, business strategist at Not Yet Known, and Christine Rankin, consultant, are on the panel this morning. Good morning to you both.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, the elephant in the room, Julian. I'm sorry. I'm so infantile. But what were your parents thinking? What were Mr. and Mrs. Andrews thinking when their son was born and they decided to call you Julian?
Do you know, my mum really liked the famous five. So I'm named after Julian of Julian, Dick and Anne, George and Timmy the dog.
Well, see, I'm so glad that I asked that, because there was me thinking they wanted a daughter and they were paying homage to Julie.
No. So my nickname was actually Timmy growing up at school.
Oh.
So it wasn't actually Mary at all, or any of those kind of things that you really want to say right now.
This has become a more in-depth conversation than I thought, but I'm glad it's out. It's out there now.
It's out.
So we can move away. We don't need to mention the whole Julie Andrews, Hills Are Alive with the Sound of Music, any of that stuff now. And Christine, you're just Christine Rankin, yeah?
I am.
It's nothing even to say there.
No.
Okay.
Not a thing.
So let's talk drones. The new rules come in August 1st, and essentially the big difference, Julian, is that basically if someone's going to fly a drone over your property, they have to get your permission first.
What I can't understand about this is that I thought Amazon were talking about the fact that they were going to be able to deliver your package. You know, you buy your book from overseas and it gets delivered by drone.
But I suppose you've agreed to it by ordering it and knowing that's how it's going to be delivered.
What I can't work out is, how does the drone knock on your front door?
Yeah. And how do you... Well, I think it just drops it on you, doesn't it? I think that's the idea. But there are lots of issues with this. And already there have been people overseas not killed by pizzas falling out of the sky because your drone can sometimes just let go.
What if the drone's having a bad day? What if it deliberately does it?
Oh, well, of course, that's when drones go bad.
Yeah.
Do you worry about security, personal security and privacy and things like that?
No, I mean, to be honest with you, having a name like mine, the truth of it is that you try and get all the attention that you can get.
Yeah.
I'm, complete extrovert, so I'd love it if people actually wanted to take photos of my house.
Bring them on, send them on drones.
Yeah, wait until they do. Until they do.
This is what's interesting, Christine, because you do care about personal security and things like that. Have you ever seen a drone over your place?
No, I haven't. It'd take a bit of recognising for me because, drones are not of any particular interest to me, although... Hearing this, I'm used to having reporters sleep outside my house and stake me out and follow me to shopping centres and take the vilest photographs they can. And now you can have a little machine hovering over your house.
So you're now, right, you're lying in the garden naked, right, pina colada next to you,
Paul,
and then you hear this. And you look up.
I think this is your scenario, not mine.
And I'm standing over the fence, controlling the drone. But, I mean, potentially this is something that is going to be a problem in the future, and we're talking to an expert about it. But, I mean, at the end of the day, it's very new technology. But this is another weapon that those nasty spies will have, isn't it?
Yes,
I'm talking about...
It is actually horrible when it happens to you. Most people it hasn't happened to, but when it does, it's ghastly. And this is just another method of them doing it.
George Wood was in just a little bit earlier. He's one of the people that was heading up this, bloody council. And they've now said that in the Greater Auckland area, essentially the new super city, if you're running a brothel from, which you're entirely entitled to do if you get the resource consent from a private dwelling, you can now put a sign on the gate outside, just a small one, floodlit. And I don't know, he won't be feeling good about the interview, I don't think.
But listen, if you live at 88 Great South Road, for argument's sake, and at 89 Great South Road is is a brothel, I mean, don't you get sick and tired of people knocking on your door and saying, listen, here's $20. Can you give me a blowjob?
Yeah, what can I get for $20?
Yeah. So, I mean, in that context, I think that having a sign so that people actually go to the right house has got to be a good thing. Yeah.
You think it's a good thing? What do you think, Christine?
No, I think it's an appalling thing. Look, we've got to protect our children, and everything is just so liberal and loose as far as I'm concerned. This is crazy, out of touch stuff. I don't think Aucklanders want this. Look at George saying, we had 5 submissions, 2 were for, 1 was against. I don't know what the other one said. Well, he's chairing the committee. Look,
and also the number of submissions, to me, that doesn't matter an iota. The whole reason council are there is to protect the citizens that voted.
But hey, the horse is already bolted. You've said already, the fact of the matter is that it's legal to have a brothel next door.
It can be legal, but you don't have to have a big sign or any kind of sign on. And George is like the rest of this council, completely out of touch.
Yeah. All right, we'll leave it there. We'll be back with the panel in just a moment. Alrighty, welcome back to Paul Henry on a Tuesday morning, July 14. Thanks to our partners AMP. Julian Andrews and Christine Rankin are our, I almost said consultants, commentators this morning. All right, Bali. So we've got a lot of people. I mean, I can think of worse places in the world to be stranded. Julian, have you been stranded? Have you ever been stranded anywhere?
My wife's a handbag designer, and she gets her bags actually made in Bali. So at the beginning of this year,
so you travel there all the time?
Yeah, well, to be honest with you,
it'd be a tax break for you.
Yeah, it's pretty fantastic. So we took the kids for the first time at the beginning of this year. So we've got Mr. 7 and Mr. 9, and we were flying home. Ro was staying on because she was making the bags. So it was just me and the boys, and we got stuck at Denpasar, and the plane, I think, was delayed by about 6 hours. So we were stuck on the plane for 6 hours.
Oh, that's not fun.
When we arrived in Melbourne, we'd missed the connecting flight, so they put us up in a hotel.
In another plane?
In Melbourne. And it was great because, you know, at the Auckland airport, they've got that hotel that's right next to the airport.
Yeah.
And I've always thought, I wonder what it's like staying there. Well, they've got one exactly the same in Melbourne, and the kids got to stay there.
Why have you even thought that? Who would stay in the middle of a car park?
I just look at it. You just look at it and you think, I wonder what it's like staying in the middle of a car park.
Because I've actually looked at it quite often and thought, who in their right mind would go to a country and stay in the middle of the airport car park?
Well, yeah, but I mean, it just seems to me, and this is the truth, is that it's actually so easy for exactly that, which is when you get delayed in a flight. They put you in there. So Mr. 9, they loved it, and the key to it was that the morning they slept well. In the morning, you go down and they have their first ever all-you-can-eat breakfast.
Oh.
Okay, and
then they get on a plane.
No, they get through it and they've got to get on the plane. But so we'd had an amazing 3-week holiday in Bali, and the kids had done some amazing things. They'd learnt how to surf.
Yeah.
They'd been to an amazing water park, and Jack said, Dad, now I can cross something off my bucket list.
Oh my God, how old is he?
I've
9?
had an all-you-can-eat breakfast.
So your 9-year-old child is crossing things off his bucket list.
He's crossing things off his bucket list.
You never know when the worst is going to happen. How about you, Christine? Have you ever been stranded anywhere?
No, I haven't. And the worst place you could be stranded, and I know I'll be the only person in the world that thinks this, but that's Bali. I hate it. I went there once. I was there for 15 horrible days.
Is it just Bali you hate, or the entire country?
No, just...
No, it's the whole country, isn't it? I can tell.
I didn't like anything about it. And I went into a handbag shop and I moved a handbag and a rat ran up the wall, and that was the final...
But the thing about it is the rat's free. You don't have to pay extra for it.
Oh, thank you.
The rat had got out of the handbag.
Delighted.
So you can count your blessings there, Christine.
Yes,
all right, Christine Rankin, Julian Andrews, thank you both very much. We will have you both back, of course. It's 8:30, time for the latest.